Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to bid a fond farewell to our dear friend, Netflix. Netflix, you were there for us during those lonely nights when we craved company but couldn't be bothered to socialize. You provided us with the perfect excuse to cancel plans and spend an entire weekend binge watching our favorite shows while neglecting real life responsibilities.
Now, as we bid you adieu, we must acknowledge the new contenders for our attention. The rise of countless streaming platforms vying for our affection, threatening to tear us away from your comforting embrace. But fear not, dear Netflix, for you will forever hold a special place in our hearts. You are our first love, the one who introduced us to the magical world of online streaming.
Farewell, Netflix, and thank you for the endless entertainment. You will be missed, but your legacy will live on in the countless hours we spend avoiding real life responsibilities. Rest in buffering peace. We had another crazy thing happen this week, and I'm very curious to hear about it. But I logged into my Netflix account this week, and it said Netflix is for people in your home, and it wanted to know if I wanted to establish my home as the account holder, which I did not because I am not the account holder.
I was
So
gonna say, are we gonna admit that we're like dirty password sharers
yeah,
or have been dirty
I
password
had
sharers?
I had the password forced upon me because I canceled Netflix with all
Mhm.
and just I was done with Netflix last year. And then my boss was like, "Hey, are you watching Stranger Things?" And I said no. And I was like, I don't care. And he was like, "You have to watch Stranger Things." And he just pulled out a piece of paper and he was like, "Here's the thing." And he just wrote down four passwords and said, "It's one of these passwords." So I kind of
Nope.
logged in and I was like, "All right." So I watched
Yeah.
Stranger Things and just kind of had it and waiting. He's no longer my boss, so I kept waiting for him to boot me. He never did. So then I sent him a text and I was like, "Hey man, I might have stole your Netflix account, so make sure everything's cool and let me know if I owe you any money or whatnot." But he was like, "No, we're in. Everything's cool." I'm like, "All right." So I'm like, "Bye. Thanks. It was a
Mhm.
wild ride." So yes, I'll admit that I had a Netflix password forced upon me.
Well, listen, it's a thing that's kind of always been Netflix sharing passwords has been like their thing. Even they had a tweet famously like a few years ago, like love is sharing a password. Like they
Mhm.
kind of encouraged it. They knew people were doing it. People were talking about it. Like back when Netflix was the big shit, like king shit walking around streaming service and everybody wanted it. Now in these kind of lean years where people are canceling their accounts and there's so many different other options, they kind of just have now it's been rumored to have like that it was going to happen for what? A year now talking
Yeah.
about they're going to do it, they're going to knock out password sharing, they're going to make it whatever. But yeah, it finally happened.
Yep.
We're like they're not really going to do it and they they did it.
They did
Uh
do it. So I'm waiting for what that means and what that means for their bottom line and what that looks like. And then what does that mean going forward for all the other streaming services? Because like Amazon tweeted out making fun of them. Did you see
mhm.
Amazon's tweet?
Yeah, they're like everyone who has our password can watch or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, they basically were roasting Netflix right to their face, their digital face.
Basically saying, hey, we don't care that people share our passwords. Now,
Mm.
granted, Amazon, I think, is one that probably nobody shares their passwords to because, like, I don't want you to order shit on my Amazon. My credit
Right.
cards and shit are in there, like it's one thing just to log into Netflix and watch something that doesn't affect you. If you log into my Amazon, that could affect me.
The other thing is, I don't think anybody has Amazon Prime because of the streaming service. You have Amazon Prime because it's included with your Amazon Prime membership for like ordering things to your house, like products.
Mhm. Yep.
It's just a perk that's included with that. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was like, I gotta get Amazon Prime because of Amazing Miss Maisel. Like no one's doing that. I don't
No,
think. You know,
I don't think.
their flagship show is The Boys, which we like, but like the general public, is that really move the needle?
Yeah, I
So
don't know.
yeah, but it was still funny that they kind of were roasting them for that.
So yeah, once again, all the other streaming services are aware that it's happening on their platforms, and as of right now, I'm sure they're all watching Netflix to see what happens. Because if Netflix starts making some money, we're going to see this again across the board with other streaming platforms. But I know you also sent a picture to our text group that showed that you had the same message. You're also telling me before we started recording you have a curveball. So tell me a little bit about your Netflix experience, and we'll see where we're going.
Yeah, I saw the same message as you like a day later because it like took me that long to log into Netflix and didn't have it anymore. Now I'm a dirty password sharer also, but it's from like my sister. Um, we've kind of had the thing where I could use her Netflix account, she uses my Disney Plus account. It's kind of just been,
Hmm.
balanced that way. Uh, Disney hasn't done this to us yet. Maybe they're next, who knows? But so I told her about it. I was like, "Oh, Netflix is gone." I was like, and I told her, I was like, honestly, I don't care. Like, just don't. I was like, don't even do anything about it. I don't watch this. I don't watch Netflix really. Like, I like Stranger Things, and I think You Should Leave is funny, but like, besides that, really, am I gonna miss anything? I don't watch it for any movies. Has a ton of stand-up comedy that I don't really watch. Just like, I don't really go to Netflix. It's one of my last things I would click on.
Yeah.
So I told her, don't even worry about it. And then she like texted me back. She was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna pay the whatever $8. You still have it. And I was like, well, you don't have to. I'm telling you that I do not care and I don't want it. And she was like, nah, don't worry about it. I was like, whatever. So I guess we still have Netflix. But yeah,
I could see
I'm
that.
still yeah, I still am acknowledging this passing of Netflix. And I don't know, I've been seeing stuff of people out there like even people who own the account
Hmm.
and it's theirs are mad and like canceling and be like, nah, I don't need this anymore, just because it's annoying to them that it's happening. Because there's situations like family out of town or people who have kids in college who are using their Netflix account, like, and they're like, you're telling me my kids can't use this now that I pay for it, and like they're away at college and now they can't have Netflix anymore because they're not in my same house. But like we're part of the same family. That's so stupid. And they're like, canceled, canceled. There was like a hashtag unsubscribe or cancel Netflix going around. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I think what's weird about it is that you have people who genuinely like upgraded their packages to get more streams to be able to share. So like they would go from the two stream $15 package to the four stream $20 package so they could give a stream to their kids in college. And like they
Mhm.
were very conscious of making sure that they were paying for the devices and not where they're streaming, but they're paying for, they always said, hey, you get four devices that you could stream on simultaneously.
Mhm.
It doesn't say where, and I mean, it might in fine print somewhere, but it's like, oh, I have four devices. And you have a lot of people who genuinely upgraded and are paying more money to Netflix to get that many streams to account for all of the people in their family.
Mhm.
So it's like if you were one of those people that went out of your way to do the right thing, at least in your eyes, whether it's right or wrong, depending on who you are, that would be annoying.
Right.
Like, oh wait, I upgrade. I'm trying to follow the rules as I understand them, and now you're telling me that doesn't matter, and you want me to drop $8 per stream, and I can only add, I think, two people anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, what Netflix has got to worry about is all the people who downgrade their subscription and are
Mhm.
paying for the $20 one to get four streams, and now they're like, well, I don't need that now, so let me go down to the $10 one stream one. And then
Yeah.
it's like they're not worried about people like me signing up. Now you just lost any chance of getting money from me on top of the $10 that you're now losing a month from that person who doesn't need four streams anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
most
That's
likely they're going to do exactly what Netflix thinks it's going to do, and they'll probably end up making money because, like I said, people like your sister will just be like, $8, whatever, I don't care,
mhm.
and just pay it, and you just do what it is. So it's one of those things. And if I was in your sister's position, I'd probably do the exact same thing. I'd be like, don't worry about it, I just paid it.
Yeah.
That would be my
I mean,
default.
at the end of the day, $8 is what it is. But to some people, that's like it's more like the principle of it,
Yeah.
you know. And then I think they're also banking on a lot of people who were password sharing, like not paying for it, being like, "Well, it's gone now. I gotta have it because I'm watching such and such. So okay, I'll get my own subscription." I don't think they're gonna get as many of those as they are think so because they're like we kind of alluded to. There is so many options now that Netflix is not the like required necessity in quotes that it once was maybe even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
See,
um
Netflix was the shit when they had everything.
mhm.
Then everybody wanted to do their own. So here goes Friends, here goes Seinfeld, here goes The Office, here goes all Walking Dead's still over there. But they just pulled all of the reasons that people were watching things, but even movies, everything else just got pulled to go to wherever other platform it belongs. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there with just Netflix originals and
which are very hit or miss.
very hit or miss. I don't think I've ever seen a Netflix movie that I genuinely was like, holy shit. Maybe The Harder They Fall was the closest.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just seeing a Netflix movie there, I know what a Netflix movie is. And usually it's just like, oh, it's a 3-star. I liked it, but I'll never think about it again. Like
The Irishman, maybe, or fucking
The Irishman.
Bird Box. If
I
people
never
like the
watched
Bird
Bird
Box,
Box. Yeah, I never watched it.
people like the Bird Box, but
That's what I heard. But yeah, I just never got around to watching it. I never watched
mm,
the Red Notice with The Rock.
no.
I never, and I don't watch anything, so there's not enough. Now, I will say Netflix was what we were jumping into heavy because we were watching a lot of stand up
Mm-hmm.
in the last like couple weeks. So it was like, oh, I gotta go find stand up somewhere else. But you know what? There's stand up
That's what
everywhere.
that's what YouTube's for.
YouTube, on top of
Everything's on
HBO,
YouTube.
has their own stand up. Paramount is tied with Comedy Central, which is loaded with stand up.
Yeah.
So yes, I am genuinely bummed that I'm not able to watch season 3 of I Think You Should Leave. I was kind of pumped up for that next weekend, but all those skits make their way to YouTube.
Hey, I was gonna say, just go find a friend that has Netflix that wants to watch it and make it like you could pump through all those in one night.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. Be like, all right, who wants to have a I Think You Should Leave party,
Yeah,
or we jump on Zoom, Don, and you just share your screen and we'll watch it together.
that's it. That's our way of
There
pirating.
it is. I like that idea right there. So we'll make that a plan. We'll get some other people in here and we'll do a party Zoom, and we'll watch I Think You Should Leave. Just solved it. So Netflix, we'll see what happens with Netflix. Let us know your Netflix scenario, because I'm sure there's probably a lot of you out there listening that are sharing dirty password shares as we are.
Yeah.
So let us know if you're going to stay subscribed, if you care, or you like Don's sister and you're just like, whatever, I'll pay it. I'm
Yep.
sure a little bit of all of us are out there. Depends on what side you are.
R.I.P. Netflix.